Hey everyone, welcome to ESPC25 here in lovely Dublin. I have Reshmee Auckloo with me here, who is MVP from UK, and gives me my pleasure to kind of interview Reshmee in her community work that she does. But before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself, Reshmee, and welcome to ESPC.
Hello. Yes. Yeah. It's so gorgeous weather in my first ESPC in Dublin. I landed yesterday. It was pouring. It's so nice. And yeah, as Chirag already gave an introduction about me, yeah, I'm MVP in the M365 development and M365 co-pilot, and I do a lot of contribution like to the PNP open source projects, writing blog posts, even like mentoring like others like in women in Power Platform, as well as yeah, I'm getting a lot of support from other people, like to be able, like to keep stretching and pushing myself to do a little bit more. But yeah, and like as from last month, I was kind of recruited to be part of the PNP PowerShell maintenance, which is something. It's like one of my favorite tools, like in terms of easy automation, and really like to be part of that team to try to take the product forward. It's just an honor for me.
Excellent. I mean, that sounds a lot of variety of community work that you do. So well done on that. Um, and I guess, I mean, if we can maybe open up, given the amount of technology innovations that's happening, and of course, AI is kind of on everyone's top of their minds, right? So, what are you seeing from your point of view over this last year? I guess because obviously, it's going at a rapid pace, right, in terms of how everything is evolving. What are you seeing?
Yes, I mean, considering like Copilot, like last year was still like gaining a lot of traction, adoption, and this year it's all about being like agents, which try like to reason and do tasks on your behalf, and and again, like the keynote from Jeff Kiefer's kind of mentioned is like the number of agents is going like to exceed the number of users. And the way like Microsoft is positioning is democratizing development of those agents and apps also just using natural language, and you can see it like people easily they just can spin up an app or agent
Yeah, they
like
make
in
it look easy.
seconds. Yeah, they do really make it easy. And one of the things, like as a developer, yeah, the GitHub Copilot, which is a little bit more mature, but to be honest, I still kind of feel very skeptical to click on the button for it uh, to handle the PR, do the changes, and
Right.
create a commit. It's just so. I've seen what it can do, but at the same time, it scared me because it creates a lot of work for me, like to review.
It's supposed to reduce the work, right?
And it's supposed to, and then you're just like, no, I'll just do what I think more safer. Because it's sometimes, yeah, as a developer, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's just like it
Yeah.
creates like if I know if it changes like 10 files, and I don't know how many lines of code deleted or added, it's just scary.
Yeah. No,
But it will get there.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, also, it is worth highlighting as well that, of course, not everything's about the development side of things, right? Because a lot of us in many organizations are still getting, the overwhelming experience that we get, with the agents and different experiences, and especially like you mentioned just now, with Jeff Teeper's keynote this morning, he talked about some of the different facets of the agents orchestration you have. So it's not just about that one-to-one, but also the team work side of things too. So from your point of view, when you're creating solutions, you've obviously got to bear all these things in mind. So I know as a developer, that's probably a far-fetched kind of a
Hmm.
stream of work that you might want to do. So how are you looking things from your point of view, from a development perspective, when you're approaching to working with the agents?
Yeah, I mean, currently I'm still like quite skeptical, and I kind of just trust it, like to do like small things still. I know about its power, but I just
Hmm.
like still kind of doesn't trust it, like to do the right thing. So I just prefer like to have a lot of control, and yeah, so I won't just tell it like to build a whole like solution, but just like instruct it quite specifically, like maybe generate a function, like something quite simple. I know, like for example, like to do a regex, like to validate email, for
Right.
example, instead of me writing line by line, I know it can do it confidently, so it kind of speed up my work in that instance.
Hmm.
But again, I just want like to still be in control of the engineering of a solution and not let the agent go wild and do something.
Sure.
But of
Sure.
course, I don't know what the future kind of holds. Possibly, as I get more confidence and trust, I will let it. But it's all about like we call it vibe coding, but I prefer like to use the term vibe engineering, where it's person kind of really adding their own knowledge to the
Sure.
agent, what the
Sure.
agent is kind of outputting.
Good, good. Now, that sounds like a good strategy, right? To approach to those sort of solution developments side of things. Let's shift the gears towards like if you think about from a community point of view, right? Because we know the Microsoft 365 community is a huge ecosystem of solutions. You know, a lot of people are sharing their their resources for us to be able to take advantage. And I do appreciate there's a lot of hard work that goes into this. So from a community point of view, and I know you touched earlier from an introduction point of view, how, if anybody wants to be part of this community, what would you recommend? You know, how would they go about starting off to try and get into this exciting community that we're in?
For me, like getting into a community was more about sharing what I learned, and it gives me like a motivation because I know lots of brilliant people. They do learn a lot of things. They do build brilliant solution, and sometimes it just stays like on their machine,
Hmm.
and sometimes it's good like to be able like to share, to get feedback from others, what you can improve and what you're doing is right or not. Because how I started, because I used like to work for end customer directly, so I felt quite lonely in that sense because I was just like doing handling everything, and then it's just like what I was doing. I don't know whether it was right or wrong, but it's just like started kind of blogging, uh, yeah, and yeah, doing contribute to what I've learned, and it's just like it's just kind of organic way of growing, and I just made connections with the people in the
Hmm.
community, and that's how yeah, Louise Reyes, she kind of nominated for the MVP when I was like no one in the space, and after that keep like stretching like at ESPC I'm speaking, but again that was not my main contribution like to become MVP before, and it's just like seeing like the other side, and really it's yeah, the community is amazing, loads of people like in the audience who will kind of support you. Like even like I was kind of nervous, I didn't know what to do because it was like someone else who asked me, oh, you should kind of submit a session to speak, and I was like, no, that's not me. I won't be able like to even like stand on a stage to talk. Yeah, but then like Kevin with Sarah, we did like a first time a speaker workshop which I attended, and it did give me some confidence, and even like when my first speaking session, I kind of let the organizers know about it, and they were very helpful getting a team of people to kind of talk about their own experiences, which kind of really help
Yeah,
out.
that's
So
wonderful.
yeah,
That really helps because I think it's that kind of interactions really, because you can read about all these things so much, but there's nothing like like you described, the workshops in terms of to try and learn to be a new, in a new speaker field. And I think it is good because I know you have a session here in ESPC, right? So why don't you tell us a bit about that? And also, what are your first impressions? Because I believe this is your first ESPC conference, right? So tell us about that, and also what you're looking forward to for the rest of the conference.
Yeah, I'm quite excited, but I honestly say I'm still a bit scared because I kind of see in the room where we are going to deliver the session, and so far I've been kind of been speaking just in events like in London. I mean, it's slightly big conferences, like with 200, 300 people, but here I know it's like a lot more, and it's just like, yeah, I'm kind of very nervous about it, but at the same time, it's very excited, like meeting people I've already seen online, and and yeah, I think that's definitely it's going like to be a test of all like the prep we've been doing over the throughout the year to kind of build the confidence and see like if we actually manage like to deliver. But yeah, I'm quite excited. Our topic like based on the Ignite announcement news, everything was about compliance, security, governance, and our session where we kind of submitted like 6 months ago, it was like one agentic AI agent was a kind of a new buzzword. I
And
kind
everything's
of
changed now.
it's
Not
still
really.
there. It's still there, and it's kind of great like to see how things have evolved, and just like happy like to be talking about security and governance for
Good.
agents, but on Copilot Studio kind
Good.
of specifically.
Excellent. Well, look, I think it's been great to have you here, Reshmee. Really appreciate your time, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you very much. I'm Chirag Patel.